Welcome to number 276 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things.
B&I and networking.
I am Mark Simmons. So Hazel, we have the power of one.
Yep.
One of the pieces of the power of one is one visitor per month.
Yep.
And that a visitor is someone who can be defined as has the ability to submit an application should they choose to.
Correct.
So they're not another B&I member. They don't represent a seat already in the chapter.
Correct.
And as far as power of one goes, that's who we get the point for.
Right.
One question for you. Fly on the appointment. Why would I ever invite a guest if I don't get any points for them?
Giver's gain.
Yeah, but I don't get any points for them.
Right. Giver's gain.
Okay.
So your guests are buyers. They're prospects for your fellow members to meet. For instance, when my mother got to know the people in the network near her, one of my chapters, she referred business to them all the time because she knows every little old woman in town and all of their little needs, right? And so she would refer them business, or she would hand out their business cards or give out their phone numbers, right? She was never a member of the group. Visited it once. One day I was sitting in a chapter and it was a lunchtime group, and the financial planner was the president, and he brought this elderly lady into the meeting with him. It was one of his clients, and they had lunch. And she passed $67,000 worth of referrals because she needed every person in her community, because these are all people like my mother in her community, and she needed a lot of work done on her house. And she was so thrilled that she got to meet these people before she hired them. Right? That is business that would not have come to you had that client not been brought into the room. Right? So every guest is the opportunity to buy from you, refer you, or make a connection for you, hand out your cards, right? In Kokomo, Indiana, we used to have a chapter there. The vice president or the president of the bank brought in the president, the buyer for Sam's Club, which is kind of like Costco. There was a member standing it was his feature presentation. And he had created this backboard for a basketball goal that was unbreakable because, teams used to shatter them all the time and kids would shatter them. And this was unbreakable. And they ended up in all the Sam's Clubs in Indianapolis area because that buyer was there and could put them into the clubs because he saw the feature presentation. So you are giving opportunity to your fellow members when you bring guests. Every chapter should just have a guest day. Bring a guest, bring a teacher, bring a spouse, bring family, because all of those people have a network that they can refer you to.
Yeah. Another time when guests are super important is, speaking of feature presentations, let's use the example of the mortgage broker. Well, who's a mortgage broker's target audience? Probably realtors.
Probably realtors.
Who are they going to want to hear their presentation? A room full of realtors. Who's going to get upset at potentially a room full of realtors?
Nobody.
Nobody should, especially not the member who's a realtor in the chapter.
That realtor goes, look at me, I own this seat. They should be proud.
That's right. And so that is the giver's gain part. Those other realtors haven't built a relationship. They can't ask for business in the weekly presentation, or they shouldn't. And they're there to hear my presentation, kind of as the mortgage broker. That's giver's gain.
And guess what? If they say, well, I want to be in a group like this, then that's a referral to me as a franchise owner, right? You can put their name and information in the app and send that as a referral. This is a person that's looking for a chapter. And we launch our chapters with the real estate agents.
Right.
Giver's gain.
There you go. Yeah. So we can't block seats. Don't block the guest. Aside from the 2 big visitor days a year,
right,
which are membership drives, or for visitors, true actual visitors only.
Right.
Outside of those 2 days, you have 48 other meetings that guests can be at.
Guests can be at. Bring the guests. They are the buyers. That is the way you give to your chapter.
Yeah, and just so you all know, on the Ponds report, there's a line item at the bottom that says visitors. That's for the visitors and guests spending money in your chapter. It all gets tracked.
And 20% of the income, or 20% of the thank you for closed business in a franchise usually comes from the visitors, assuming that the president remembers to let the visitor and the guest know that they can pass referrals.
That's right. And that's done at the beginning of the weekly presentation time. Hey, visitors and guests, members are going to do the weekly presentation. If you hear of a potential referral, write it down. And later on in the meeting, you're going to have an opportunity to pass it. And then during the I have, invite them. Now's the time, visitors
Pass your
or guests.
referral.
If you have one, let us know.
Yep.
Keep in mind, though, they aren't trained in the BNI way. It might be a lead. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's still a connection. Yeah. All right. Guests are important. Until next time, Hazel Walker.
See you then.
Bye.